Defund DOC is a movement and belief. Our mission is to stop oppression, exploitation, and bring about relief. Raise awareness, open eyes to the corruption in our midst. It's a higher way of thinking, but I'm sure you'll get the gist. Corrupt politicians and slimy administrators want to label us rebels and radical demonstrators. We are the ones who aren't scared, the voices that were never there, the ones willing to fight when no one else cared, the ones who stood up and finally said this isn't right, the only ones pushing back against the bureaucratic might. Support us if you can and listen for a few, because ultimately Defund DOC is for you.
Welcome to the Defund DOC podcast. I'm Linda, and with me is Daniel Sims.
Hey everyone, this is Defund D. Daniel Sims, just here to introduce a new exciting figure in the prison reform and in the prison movement. Let's introduce a humble and inspirational powerhouse. He's dedicated to advocacy for education, financial literacy, and the uplifting and reunification of humanity. A serial entrepreneur and the founder of the thriving nonprofit organization, the lovebusiness.org. The thankful, the grateful, and also known as the ambassador of love. What's up, Slim? How you doing, man? Introduce the audience to who you are and where you from, my friend.
How y'all doing, man? My name is Tyreek Smith. My people know me as Slim. I'm originally from North Carolina by way of Georgia, but I'm out here in Washington, and since I've been out here from Tacoma. I've been down there for 16 years, and man, we trying to do big things around here. You know what I mean? So here we are. I heard about the podcast, and I wanted to do something else positive, and here we are about to do that. So what's going on, bro?
Nothing, man, nothing. It's good to talk to you, man, and speak to you in regards to your viewpoints on this struggle that we're enduring in regards to mass incarceration and the struggle for the civil rights of our people that are incarcerated. Thank you for sharing your viewpoints with the audience at defunddoc.net.
It's good, bro. You know, I'm really humbled by this opportunity, man, because this is my very first actual podcast. I know there's going to probably be many more, but I'm glad that I could, you know, come together with you and really try to do something positive and make something positive happen, because a lot of the times, man, they don't hear what we really got going on, or they just hear what somebody thinks about it. But when they actually hear from a person that's inside here, you know, and that's actually thriving, then it makes them understand that this is not just a place where people come and fall off. This is not a place where people just come and die, you know what I mean? There's people here that are reforming. There's people here that are changing. There's people here that are rehabilitating. And not only that, there are people here that are actually becoming assets to their community from behind the fence. And those type of things need to be, you know, exposed to the public more than they have been, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. You can lock up the body, but you can't lock up our minds, you know, and they love to play off stigma. You know, the politicians and mass media has had the bully pulpit for the last, I'd say, century, when they've been incarcerating our people and using crime as a pretext to enslave them. And now it's our time to get on these podcasts and speak the truth to the world. And like you said, educate them that we are your people. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you, the way that you express.
What has been going on in your life recently, both that you expected and didn't expect?
Well, recently my case just got picked up in January by the Seattle Clemency Project. So that was something that I didn't expect, you know, due to the fact that I've been in prison for murder, you know what I mean? And I had a long period of time, you know, and coming in at a young age, I always thought that this was going to end up being a place where I might potentially never see the light of day again. And, you know, I just so happened to write a letter. I was told to write a letter by another inmate here that I should write a letter and tell him about myself and what I got going on and things like that. And man, I got accepted. You know, they felt me, and that made me feel real good. And now I'm in a position where I'm gonna see the light of day. You know what I'm saying? I can't say exactly what the date's gonna be, but now I know I have more action than I did before they picked my case up. So that's something that, you know, that's going on in my life that I didn't expect. But what I did expect is the success that I'm having as an entrepreneur. I expected that because I work hard. You know, I started the nonprofit this year. This is the second one. I also have a clothing company, Swagger Incorporated, that was started in 2017 that has a female brand, Swagger, and also has a male brand, Mavalati, that we're doing. And, you know, we've been giving away clothing for guys that are releasing before we even had a nonprofit organization. You know what I mean? That was just something that I felt that we needed to do, you know, before any anything else. So the success and the exposure that I'm starting to have now in life is something that I expected based on the hard work that I've been putting in.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Slim. What you don't expect and what you expect, man. That's a good way to put it. And that's a blessing that the Seattle Clemency Project is picking your case up. Now, just for my little piece of knowing you, man, I know that you're more than qualified for release immediately. You know what I mean? And, man, I know that you'll be an asset to this country. I know that you want to get into your entrepreneur skills, and then maybe once you reach the pinnacle of your ambitions, maybe you can spread that into the prison reform movement as well. That's great news, man. I'm glad to hear it. You deserve to be out of here, man. Here at defunddoc.net, our goal is to bring all sentences for murder down to 15 to 20 years. You know what I mean? That should be the maximum that the state has to rehabilitate you. You know what I'm saying? They've done studies saying after 7 years, rehabilitation is no longer a feasible result, because what happens is you become institutionalized. So if they're really about corrections and rehabilitation, you just being here just to get a treatment and a career, and you should be back on the street. Thank God, man. Speaking of God, what is your religious belief, Slim?
Oh, I'm a Muslim. I practice Islam from the perspective of the Moorish Science Temple, so we believe in Jesus Christ as well. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, as a Muslim, bro, there's a lot of things that I take to heart, and discipline is one of them. You know, knowledge is another one. And with discipline and knowledge, I think that, you know, that's what needs to be taught. A lot of people are always expecting somebody else to do something for us, you know what I mean? And so my goal in starting businesses and doing things like that while incarcerated was to show not only the administration, which comes all the way last, because when it comes to who I want to see this and who I want to be affected by what I do, the administration and DOC is the furthest from my mind, right? The number one people in my mind is the incarcerated individual who has that time, or the people, the young cats that's coming in and they feel like their life is over. And I want to show them, like, hey, man, check this out. I came in here with life sentence. They didn't give me numbers. They gave me letters. My first case that I ever got, it set me down forever, but it didn't stop me, bro. I came in here and I decided, after going through a few things for the first, 5-6 years of me being in the penitentiary, I realized that this ain't where I wanted to be, bro. And once I realized that, then I thought to myself, hey, this is what I need to do. I'm a natural born hustler, but selling drugs and doing the things that I was doing on the street is not going to get me back out of prison. And if it does get me out of prison, it's not going to keep me out of prison, right? And me being me, man, I'm going to just keep it real. I needed to know how I'm going to be able to live the type of lifestyle, to have the type of money and things that I had when I was out there, but do it legally. And the only thing that I could think of was entrepreneurship, right? Because entrepreneurship is the opportunity for you to monetize your ideas. And so as many ideas as you can come up with, if you can find a way to turn those ideas into something that somebody else is willing to pay for, then you're going to be a successful entrepreneur. So then I sat back and I thought to myself, man, I ain't got nothing but time, literally. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure out which ideas I can come up with that people want to pay for. And that's how it all started, right? That's how it all started with me.
So let me ask you, did you get any kind of classes for entrepreneurship or any kind of assistance or training from Department of Corrections in your pursuit of bettering yourself in entrepreneurship?
No, I didn't get any of that because of my time structure. So I tried to go to every class because I'm about education. I'm an advocate for education. I think we all should have education. The love business, once we get to talking about that, I'm going to tell you that we're going to be pushing an initiative soon called No Student Left Behind. Just like in the military, they have no man left behind. We're going to do no student left behind because we believe that education should be offered equally to anybody who wants to participate in education while incarcerated in DOC, because education is a gateway to freedom.
Absolutely.
It's a gateway to rehabilitation. So this is something they should give us no matter what our time structure is, because especially now when laws are changing, things are changing every day. You got guys who've been in prison for 27 years, and then the law changed, and now they're getting released in 2 months, and they couldn't get no education because of what their time structure was. So now they're going back unprepared, trying to cram all this information within 2-3 months, and you expect them to be successful.
Yeah,
I beg to differ.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. It's sad. I mean, this is nothing new under the sun. This is the same exact thing they did to the slaves back in the pre-Civil War time. They keep them uneducated. They don't allow them to learn to keep them enslaved. And that's the reason why recidivism is so high in America, is because they trying to keep prisoners stupid. That way they can keep them coming back. You know what I'm saying? And you not leaving any students behind is an amazing aspirational goal, man, and I applaud you for that. And everybody out there, support that movement. Somebody out there listening to this, create a hashtag. Let's get that no students left behind in regards to prisoners.
Yeah, for real, Bo, because this is the thing, you know, when it comes to us in here in education, you also have to, I don't want to put all the responsibility on DOC because you asked me the question, so I answered it, but I also have another part that I want to say, and if you really want education, bro, you're going to go get it. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I was out on the street, but I was in the military too, by the way. I was a medic in the military before I came to prison.
Oh, so you're a veteran as well, huh?
Right. I'm a veteran in the penitentiary for longer than I was in the military. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more versed in what's going on in here than I ever will be as far as the military is concerned. But I do give my love and support to all the troops, the veterans and all that. We're going to be pushing that line too. That's coming soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm with all that.
The next largest group of people being incarcerated in this country is veterans. They're preying on the trauma that they suffered while in the military, and they've been criminalizing their trauma. So, yeah, man, that's good that you shared that with the audience.
Yeah, Bo, because this is the thing. We're going to have to talk about. This is a whole other podcast. That's issue by itself. We could talk for an hour just about that, and you know, but we'll do that later at another time because I definitely want to come back on here. But the thing is with the education thing is we want to go figure out a way because, come on, man, most of us, not even most of us, all of us are in prison for a crime, right? No matter what, we're here for a crime, whether it be a crime, a money crime, whatever the crime may be. If you dwindle that crime back down to the nuts and bolts, for the larger percentage of the people that are incarcerated, we're here because we were trying to survive. It was a survival thing, whether it be I was trying to feed somebody or I was trying to feed myself or I was trying to do whatever I was trying to do to survive. And then I made a bad decision to choose crime in order to do that, but that's what it boils down to. So when it comes to education, we got to have that same drive. We got to have that same initiative. We got to have that same aspiration in becoming educated. You know what I'm saying?
That was profound, Slim, man. That was a diamond that you just shared with the audience, man. But this is the hard part, though. When the state takes you from your community and they drop you 200, 300, 400 miles away from your family and your community, and they separate you, and then they drop you in a warehouse and don't give you no access to no formal education. You know, there's a lot of people stuck in poverty that got no community that's going to help them with the books to send to them. And, yeah, they can go to the library, and that's where I get my education. I hit the library. I hit the law library. I write my books. I can't stop reading. I love to read. I love to learn.
Right.
But the problem is that our people die for lack of knowledge. And sometimes you have to have that structure. Not everybody's like us, you know. And, you know,
right.
I want to see all our people thrive and succeed. So we need that structure, education. Like you said, no students left behind. Yeah, there's going to be select few like you, like me. I've written 3 books. I got countless lawsuits against the state for prison reform issues. The masses of the people in here, I believe they need that structure, man. They need that education. I just give you a little example. When I was 18, I came to prison, right? And I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to do nothing like that, man. I just wanted to experience the adventure, the big yard. You know, I wanted to live that life of prison, just young and stupid, right? And they forced me to go get my GED. And so I go to the GED and get my GED, man. After I got my GED, it opened a whole new world to me, education. I hadn't had the education since 6th grade. I had dropped out. So it just opened up a new world for me. And I just want to see that same thing for our people, for this community, the incarcerated community. Open their eyes to the world that's out there, and maybe they won't come back, you know. And but I appreciate what you said. They got to go get it too, though. They got to go get it.
And this is the thing. Also, I'm not going to make this long. I'm going to make this real short because I know we got a lot of other stuff that we talk about. But the one thing I do want to say is this: is that through the love line that we're running right now within the penitentiary, and what we're going to do is we're going to give away books to people upon request once a month. I mean. And how we're going to do it is we're going to have people write what book they want and why this book would make them succeed, how this book will make them successful. And then we're randomly going to pick people off the list, and we're going to give them those books for free. All they have to do All they have to do is write the organization, this is why I want this book. I want this book because this is going to help me succeed in this way. We're not doing it for entertainment, man. We're reading for success. This is for you to up your knowledge and be able to do something with it. We're talking about things that's going to really do something for you, but you know, that's the program that we're getting ready to start running. As of probably next month, it's about to start. We want to get these books and we want to get this education into people's hands, man. That's why I can't wait to tell you guys more about the organization as we go forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the hardest challenge that you've had to overcome in your life?
Man, life without parole. For real. Man, life without parole is hard, man. When you wake up in the morning and you got a cellie or, you know, you got a homeboy or a partner and, you know, they talking about when they going to get out and, you know, when they going to get back to their family. And the only thing that you thinking in your mind is, man, I don't have that opportunity, you know, and getting past that thought process in order to be able to do anything, man. They be able to try to, you know, to make life worth living again when you think you're dead, you know, because there was a time in my life when I used to walk out to the kiosk and put my hand in it, you know, to check my money and see how much money I got for commissary or whatever. And man, that release date thing don't say no number. You know what I'm saying? It's just letters. So it was hard getting over that, you know, being away from my son, you know, being away from my family and not knowing if I was going to ever be able to see him again, you know. So I think that might be the hardest thing that I ever had to overcome, you know, in my life is dealing with the thoughts of giving up because of that and remaining strong and steadfast instead of giving up. You know, that would be my answer to that.
Wow, that's profound, Slim, man, and I can identify with you, man. I don't know if you felt this way or not, but when I got mine, I got a de facto death sentence, and I got 34 years, and I didn't even kill nobody. I'm in here for a alleged drug deal robbery gone bad type situation, and yeah, and essentially the state is going to kill me with a long sentence, you know what I mean? And man, when I got that sentence, I swear it felt like, you know Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it felt like Spider-Man had just shot a web out of his hand and shot, and a web it's just like a cobweb of darkness just saturated my life when I got that. It just consumed me for days. The depression, like you said, I got a son that I rarely see either. So yeah, you're right. You hit the nail on the head. That's one of the biggest obstacles I've overcome, man. And I haven't even overcome it. And every day I overcome it. Just like you. Every day I have to wake up. Yeah.
Continual. It's a thing, you know what I mean? Continual thing. So, you know, but at some point, you have to accept it, and the only way that you can accept it is by accepting and taking what I call grant accountability for. Even though you may not have done whatever it is they saying that you did, it's a decision that you made that led up to you even being in the position where they could even say that you did. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And these are the things that we have to. You know, I've developed these skills while I've been in here, mind you, through self-education. You know what I mean? And just now, you know, over the last 3 years, they've been allowing me to take classes now. So I'm currently enrolled in nonviolent communication, and, you know, I did redemption, stuff like that. But when it comes to college courses and stuff like that, man, everything that I done learned, man, I done got it from a book, got it from, you know, somebody who knows or somebody that's already doing a business or doing, you know, self-reform or whatever, and just learn going through the motions, man. You know what I'm saying? Getting hurt, you know what I'm saying? Making mistakes, man. Trial and error.
What goals are you pursuing right now?
Oh, my number one goal, well, I got a couple. My number one goal is, you know, strengthening myself spiritually and truly understanding who I am as a spiritual being so that I can walk in my purpose, because I 100% believe that the only way that I'm truly going to be able to walk in my purpose is if I become one with my spirit and understand, because if God is the spirit, he's the one that created us. If, you know, for a person who believes that, if he's the one that created you, he's the only one that can tell you what your purpose is. You know, how can someone tell you what your purpose is that didn't create you, you know? So I'm trying to get my personal relationship with God as tight as I can get it. That's my number one goal. And my second goal, the largest goal I have, is to grow the Love Business organization into the most effective nonprofit organization that there is, and to help as many people as possible. You know, those are my two main goals right now.
Yeah, Yeah, that's aspirational, man. I applaud you, man. Everybody out there, man, I hope you all are applauding them and looking up to lovebusiness.org. We just did a special episode, me and Linda, a couple weeks back in regards to how Christians and Jews have actually scriptural commandments to visit the prisoner and to relieve the oppression and the slavery from their people. You know, as Islam, they believe in the same God. Obviously, there's different scriptures and whatnot in regards to what the beliefs are, but the actual God of Israel is the same God of Islam and the same God of Christianity. Am I correct?
Right. It is. Allah is one God. That's the thing. He is one God, and the precepts and the concepts that everybody has taken and put some over here and put some over here and then took some over there and created all these different things. It's only because they're paying attention to the things that we don't have in common instead of paying attention to the things that we have in common. I believe that we all are believing in the same thing, but we pay more attention to, the small things that are different instead of the large commonality. So I'm making it a focus to pay attention to the commonality and be a person who, okay, yeah, you may be a Christian, you may be a Jew, you may be a Muslim, you may be a Hindu, you may be a Buddhist, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna approach you where you're at. I'm gonna study what you study so that I'm familiar with what you study so that me and you can have a conversation about what you study. Not just me trying to push on you what I study, so that we can see the commonalities to go and meet the prisoners. We are supposed to, relieve oppression. You know what I mean? We are supposed to help with poverty. You know what I mean? These are all things that we're supposed to do. So, yeah, as a Muslim, that is the number one thing, you know what I'm saying, that we're supposed to do is give love, you know what I mean? And when you break that word love down, man, it covers a lot of things. So I would advise a lot of people to really go and reevaluate what love really is, man, not just from a physical perspective, but more so from a spiritual and enlightened perspective, and get a true understanding of that so that we can start treating each other as humanity with that love, no matter what religion, no matter what race you are, you know what I mean? Let's all come together and be one, man, because the God that we serve is one. You know what I mean? We're the ones that are separated, man, so let's bring it back together.
Regarding the love business, can you tell our listeners who you are and what you do?
I'm the founder, and as of right now, I'm the president and CEO. I created, all the guidelines, mission statements, vision statements, all those things that you see. I'm pretty much the point man, creating the programs myself, going out and talking to people within the community on phones and talking to people in here, finding out what it is that we actually need, man, instead of just assuming that I know what we're supposed to give people and then just giving them what I want to give them. I choose to go and find out what people really need and then serve them that way, whether it be the homeless community out on the street or whether it be, an incarcerated individual, that's releasing into reentry, or one that has plenty of time here, because we also give out commissary grants and things like that, from the love business. So it's just really trying to fulfill the needs of the people. We really serve the people. That's what we do. That's what I do, serve the people. And, teaching financial literacy. I'm also a member of the Black Prisoners Caucus here, which also helps with the love business because it helps me to understand the structure of a nonprofit organization and run it properly. So that's really who I am and what I do. I'm, not to be arrogant or anything like that, but, I push the buttons and pull the strings.
And why was the love business founded?
The love business was founded because I looked at these other nonprofit organizations. No disrespect to any nonprofit organization that's doing what they're supposed to do. I looked at these nonprofit organizations and I did research on these nonprofits and seen how much of their money, they're actually giving back to the causes that they say that they're, for. And then how much of the money that they're getting is going back into the overhead and back into the pockets of the people that are in the organization. And I was like, man, I want to start something that where it's all love, man. You know what I mean? Like we're doing it because we really love the people. It's not about the money. You know what I mean? If we get the money, it's cool, but that's not what we're in it for. We really in it to help people. So, and also because of my spiritual belief, God is love. And so if God is love, he's in the business of love. And so if I'm about my Father's business, then the love business is what I'm about. Just so happened, when I looked it up to find out if the name was available, it was, and I rolled with it, man. So that's why I founded the love business, so that we can help people, man. I really want to help people with love. you know.
Yeah, that's very commendable, Slim. The community really needs another gentleman like you out there actually promoting this in the community, man, and you know, keeping you in prison, keeping you enslaved, taking your labor, and trying to inflict these oppressive rules upon you ain't going to better you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you deserve to be out, Slim, and applaud you for that. We likewise are not worried about the money. We literally give away books for free just for people to subscribe, just because we're trying to get this message out there. You know what I mean? We're trying to share this word with the American people. Like, look, we are your fellow citizens. You know what I mean? Like, we're your sons and daughters. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we've been treated cruelly. Yeah, we've been treated cruelly in here, man. I mean, violence is rampant. You know what I mean? There's no education solutions. You know what I'm saying? The way that the guards treat you is just severely oppression. They would love to see us sleeping on concrete, eating bread and water. You know what I mean? It's just the system has just been created from hate, man, and that's I firmly believe that. This system is hate. It's not about correction or rehabilitation. Yeah. So, yeah, man, we applaud you, man, for that. We're likewise on that same mission. We don't care about the money. We're just trying to get the message out there, and it's all love with us, too, man. So, yeah, a lot.
What has the Love Business done thus far?
Well, there's a few things we've done. We've done a couple events. We did a homeless event in Seattle. We passed out 100 love kits, and inside of those love kits were a scarf, beanie, sock, a 9-piece hygiene kit, and gloves. I mean, it was cold outside during the time. We passed those out in Seattle at Tent City, and then we also did it at the Tent City in Tacoma as well. The bags that we passed out, and there's a couple pictures on the website of the people who we met with out there, and who the volunteers met with out there, rather, because I'm in here, so I couldn't get it, but we got volunteers who did that, and the bags and what's inside the bags, and basically letting people know that, you know, every $10 that they donate is helping a person get one of these bags. You know, so we did that. That was our first initial event. And then, like I said, we have the First Impressions program that we've been doing, which is when people get out, we provide them with clothing. So if it's a female, we'll give them clothing from Swagger, or we'll go purchase clothing from a store out here, shoes, hygiene, all that type of stuff, so that they can have a good chance of getting out of prison without having to, you know, their first impression be they just came out of prison, because they still got on prison clothes, and that's the first thing people see. So we're trying to do that. That's something that we've done, and we've been doing that now for 2 years. We run what we call the Love Line in the penitentiary right now, where we're sending out motivating speeches or motivating messages every morning to the incarcerated population, and we're also allowing them to share their thoughts and then reposting them on the blog that we have on our website on thelovebusiness.org. We have a blog there where the incarcerated individuals' entries are being put on there so everybody can see those too, as well as it's going through security so that the whole penitentiary can see them on their tablets too. So we're doing that, and we're pursuing other goals. We're working on a program called the Alternatives to Opiates, where we want to help with the opioid crisis, and we want to basically give out CBD and things like that in order to get the veterans and first responders and all those, the police and stuff like that were hurt, off of those opiates that they were prescribed, and move them towards more natural, you know what I'm saying, less harmful medication. That's what we're really working on, you know, and helping people get out of prison, man, connecting with other organizations.
Yeah, that's commendable, Slim. There's people out there that are 50, 60, 100 years old that ain't done nothing like that, man. And yet the world still stigmatizes us because we're incarcerated. Yet you're over here doing the most for the community right from behind bars. And likewise, we're doing the same. Me and Linda both are really passionate about getting treatment to people and reforming this corrupt prison system, man. So, yeah, absolutely, man. That's good.
Do you have any other future plans for the Love Business?
Absolutely. When it's all said and done, I would like for the organization to be one of the reasons why communities start to come back together and we start loving each other, all of us. Why the people that are in the penitentiary get rid of the segregation that we got between each other and start unifying on love basis, not just to fight or, you know, when something bad is going on, but to give each other love, man, and follow that golden rule, man, to treat each other how we want someone to treat us, you know what I mean? So that's the number one goal, you know, is to turn this system around, is to turn the way people treat each other around and be that shining light and that example every day, you know?
Yeah, man, that's amazing, man. Yeah, we like that. I've been seeing the little love emails that be coming through to my tablet, man, and those are really inspirational. Man, this system is designed for us to be segregated, like you said, man, and we have to, like, educate ourselves on the way that the state has been using divisions to separate us so that we don't get united and push for actual reform, you know? And that's what they do, man. They keep everything scarce in prison. I mean, people fighting over pull-up bars, dip bars, commissary, dining room table. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's fighting over every resource in prison, and they're creating gangs to protect the resources. This is all by design. We got to educate our people and talk about love, getting together, uniting for a cause, and that cause should be transcend these prison bars. And that's the reason why a lot of people have been subscribing to defunddlc.net. And everybody listening, have your family and friends subscribe. We're not asking for no money. We're not asking for nothing. We just want your ears and your eyeballs and to be a part of this struggle. Slim, you're an inspiration. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's good, bro. I appreciate you guys, man. Like I say, man, I'm thankful for you guys giving me this opportunity, man. And, hopefully people will go, like I said, and go visit the organization website. It's thelovebusiness.org. And go check us out, man, and see what we're really about, man. And, if you want to be a part of the cause, you know what I'm saying, there's a way for you to do that. If you got suggestions, there's a suggestion box on there that what you think we should do or what we could do. Man, I just want to see people do the right thing, man. We want to give people an opportunity to do the right thing. We need a community support, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm asking that, people go and visit the website and let's come together and make it work.
Absolutely. And everybody definitely check out that website. Follow him on Instagram. And also the people that are coming over from the love business, subscribe to this podcast and let's use that synergy, man. Let's get on each other's shoulders, man. That's the only way that we can excel and get above this corrupt system that is trying to keep us down. Thank you, Slim, for that inspirational interview. Also, for the audience, we're definitely needing more stories. If you have a story about how you were impacted adversely or negatively by the criminal justice system, we really want to hear it. Linda has been collecting those stories. We're going to potentially interview people that have a profound story that they want to share. Also, we might be cutting them up, using them on TikTok and Instagram, and promoting your story to try to educate people on what's really happening in mass incarceration. People just want to get lost on the stigma that has been programmed into them through the mass media and the government for all these decades. But finally, a new medium of educating the American people has come through podcasts and blogs to tell the people what's really happening. So definitely share your stories, and we look forward to hearing them.